There was a time in Israel when fear ruled the roads, when villages were abandoned, when warriors hid, when oppression had a name: Sisera. And in that dark hour, God did something unexpected. He raised a woman. For 20 years, Israel groaned under the iron grip of King Jabin of Canaan. His commander, Sisera, controlled 900 iron chariots, iron against farmers, steel against shepherds. No swords, no shields, no defense, only fear. But in the hills of Ephraim, beneath a palm tree, sat Deborah. She was not a warrior, not a queen, not a general. She was a prophetess and a judge. In her time, a judge was a spiritual leader, a civil authority, and a military strategist when necessary. Men came to her for wisdom. Tribes sought her counsel. Under her leadership, disputes were settled, direction was given, and hope quietly began to breathe again. But leadership is tested when courage is required. Deborah sent for Barak, and she delivered a message not from herself, but from God. "Go, take 10,000 men. I will deliver Sisera into your hands." Barak responded, "I will go, but only if you go with me." A general asking for a woman to stand beside him before he would stand alone. Deborah agreed, but she prophesied, "The honor will not be yours. The Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. Not the woman you think." Sisera deployed his iron chariots into the valley of Jezreel. The ground trembled. Then the heavens moved. A torrential rain began, turning the terrain into thick mud. Iron became useless. Wheels sank. Power stalled. The God who commands storms fought for Israel. Sisera fled on foot. He ran. Not to a fortress, but to a tent. A woman named Jael offered him milk. He slept, and while the mighty warrior slept, a woman with a tent peg changed history. The prophecy was fulfilled, not by status, not by title, but by obedience. Then Deborah sang. A leader who not only fought battles, but interpreted them. Her song reminds us of God's sovereignty over nature and nations, our responsibility to act, and the difference between tribes who were willing and those who were reluctant. Leadership is not position. It is participation. What can we learn from Deborah? First, God uses the unexpected. Leadership is not gender restricted in his calling. God appoints based on purpose. Second, courage is contagious. Deborah's confidence empowered Barak to finally move. Third, obedience determines honor. Barak hesitated, so the ultimate honor went to Jael, who acted. Fourth, spiritual authority precedes public victory. Deborah heard from God before she ever spoke to men. And finally, when others will not rise, you must. Leadership often emerges in a vacuum. In a generation that lacked courage, Deborah stood. The question is not whether you feel qualified. The question is whether you will answer when called. If this story challenged you, if it awakened something in you, subscribe to this channel, like this video. Share it with someone who needs courage today, because history changes when unlikely leaders say yes.